What's up, Falcon fans? This is the recap video where we discuss what happened to the Atlanta Falcons. If you guys like this type of content, hit that like button. If you guys hate this type of content, hit that dislike button or hurt your boy's feelings. Well, maybe just a little bit. But also, if you want to do a huge favor for your boy by hitting that subscribe button, it will help out the empire grow. So on that note, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the Falcons. Let's start out with the good. So when it comes to the offense side of the ball, I have three listed. Drake London is number one. He was targeted 7 times, caught 5 receptions for a grand total of 91 receiving yards. He averaged 18.2 per reception. And outside of Kyle Pitts, Van Jefferson, Keith Smith, Scotty Miller, they were only targeted twice, caught at least 1 or 2 receptions. But really, Drake London was the key factor to move down the chains, to making sure they get those first down completions and making sure they don't go 3 and out. So fantastic job on Drake London because he is really the guy to go for number one. So now let's talk about number 2, and that is the offensive line. They make sure that Desmond Ridder did not get sacked once. They also make sure he had enough time in the pocket, and when he did try to get blitzed, they made sure to pick it up so he didn't get, in the dirt and made him feel uncomfortable enough. So now number 3 is definitely the Atlanta Falcons rush attack. Bijan Robinson had 91 rushing yards. Tyler Algier has 64 rushing yards. CP had 43 rushing yards. And Desmond Ridder had 30 rushing yards for a grand total of 228 combined Atlanta Falcons rushing yards with 41 carries to boot. They all average around roughly 4.3 to 6.4 per carry. And the focus was hard-hitting rushing attack. So they had to make sure that the New Orleans Saints had to earn those tackles for them to get to the ground. And that's what the Atlanta Falcons were supposed to build all season long, with that down-the-hill run mentality. And today, they showed, and that's a fantastic job. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, well, why couldn't we do it against the Tennessee Titans, the Arizona Cardinals, and the Minnesota Vikings, consistently enough? Well, first of all, CP was kind of banged up, early on in the year, and so he kind of been slowly but surely coming back to his 100% self, and it showed a little bit against the Cardinals or the Vikings game, but definitely now we can see that CP is back in form and is eager to hit the defenders. And also, now we have 6 games left. I'm pretty sure that Arthur Smith is going to utilize Bijan Robinson a lot more, because now these are critical times to get to the playoffs and hopefully make a huge run through them with a fresh body in Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier and all the other running backs at our disposal. So great job. So now when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, we have to give credit where credit is due. Absolutely, Jesse Bates III was definitely one of the key factors on the defensive side of the ball, where the Atlanta Falcons had a chance in winning against the New Orleans Saints. First of all, his pick 6 was incredible. His 12 tackles, 1 pass deflections, and of course the forced fumble, to making sure that Taysom Hill does not score or allow the New Orleans Saints to get any points on the board. Great job on that department. Now, DeMarco Helms getting more snap counts so he can move forward smoothly and comfortable in the transition, probably for next year, where he wants to compete as a starting strong safety instead of Richie Grant. So that's pretty good. 7 total tackles. He was all over the field. They put him in some really comfortable positions where he can learn and grow. Fantastic job. Then when it comes to Caden Ellis, ex New Orleans Saints, very well done in man-to-man coverage. I thought he did a fantastic job in making sure that all the running backs weren't getting the first downs. 2 tackle for losses, a pass deflections. He was all over the field, against Alvin Kamara. Besides that one play, but even still, that one busted coverage that really wasn't his fault. He did a fantastic job in shadowing anybody that was in his facility. So good job on that. And for the entire Atlanta Falcons defense, they did a good job in stopping the New Orleans Saints' 3rd down efficiency, because they did it 14 times, but they only got 6 first down conversion on 3rd down. So that's a great job in my opinion. And yes, they stopped Alvin Kamara from scoring a touchdown and making sure he didn't get over 100 yards in receiving, because we all know that he's very capable scat back type of of mentality where he can easily get 100 yards easily, but we make sure we contain him early and making sure he only had to beat us twice for big yard plays, but every other time we stuff him. So great job on that. And also making sure that the quarterback did not ran inside or outside and having a field day. So good job on that department. So now let's talk about the bad. I noted this for a while, but Jeff Okudah is constantly getting picked on by a lot of the different wide receivers and quarterbacks. Sometimes he wins his matches, but other times it's just so obvious that they are exposing him on these big play routes. Chris Olave did this multiple times. Johnson, the tight end, did it one or twice. Kirkwood, I think he did it one time, and Shaheed did it also. And then so obviously we need to clean that up. And then of course he got a flag as well. Some can argue, well, it's really not his fault because they were trying to fight for the ball and all that crazy palaver. But at the end of the day, I've kind of noticed that teams are picking on him because there's a reason why. He's not AJ Terrell. Now Jeff Okudah is coming back from injury, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He needs a full year to be understanding the system of the Atlanta Falcons and what they want him to do. So I'll give that benefit of the doubt, but something needs to be cleaned up. And then of course Derek Carr in the first quarter, allowing him to get over 129 passing yards just in that first quarter alone. Now, obviously, the Atlanta Falcons so far on defense have not allowed a quarterback to get over 300 passing yards in total. Now, I could be wrong now, but if my recollection's straight, we have not allowed any quarterback to get over 300 yards more than once or twice so far. And the Atlanta Falcons defense has been really good at not making sure that the opposing team does not go over their heads and breaking bread. So I don't think that's something to be concerned, but it is something just in the back of our corners. So when it comes to the blitzing concepts, I don't mind it. In fact, I think it helps out a lot. But then also it kind of makes Derek Carr to get big yardage because we have that extra linebacker or that extra safety coming in, and Derek Carr just quickly found a wide open space coverage and used that to his full advantage to get those extra yardage. So those are very tricky to see. Did Derek Carr earn those big yardage, or were they just given for free type of mentality? So sometimes the Atlanta Falcons kind of shot themselves in the foot. So when it comes to the interceptions for Desmond Ridder, the first one, honestly, I agree with the announcer. Missed opportunity and bad timing. Unfortunately, I don't know what was supposed to happen. It looked like Ridder did a pretty good job until it just went past. I don't know. The Honey Badger got lucky, but the second interception, yeah, I think a lot of fans will probably say, why do, a back shoulder fade? I mean, yeah, it didn't look good because number 15 kind of saw it, but it was kind of too late at that point in juncture, and it's just like, it didn't look that bad if you really think about it. If 15 just kind of, just quickly just turned around, he could have got that first down. But then again, the Honey Badger was already set in place at the right time, and so he just capitalized on the gain. But I'm still not really worried about Desmond Ridder's accuracy or timing. He just has to get used to it, and for that, look, he's been benched, back and forth. So obviously, having two mistakes does not define who you are as a quarterback, because he did a good job outside of those two bad mistakes, maybe one overthrow. But beside all that, it's those interceptions are just gonna hammer a lot of Falcon fans, to the day we die or something like that mentality. But besides that, I thought the Atlanta Falcons did a pretty good job. Now, there's one thing I do have to mention is, I'm pretty sure that the Saints fans can definitely make an argument on the reason why they lost, because of the injury bug just kind of happened during the game. Chris Olave, their best wide receiver, was out. And then, Shaheed, their best, speedster, got nicked up and didn't play. Jamal Williams didn't really do a lot anyways, but he kind of got banged up as well. And then, of course, their offensive line, and then there's some of their defensive guys were all getting banged up. And then, of course, Is that a blessing in disguise for the Atlanta Falcons and getting this win? I'm pretty sure you can make a legitimate argument, yes, that kind of helped us win this game. Now, is that the major factor? I don't think so, not the X factor, but it is something that I'm pretty sure the New Orleans Saints fans will say, we were slipping and we allowed you to win this. Did you guys earn this win? We don't know until we have to meet each other on the last week of the regular season. Then we can say, did we really earn that? But we better count our blessings, because at the end of the day, you go into these games healthy, and then sometimes after the game you come into damage mode. But we're just thankful that the Atlanta Falcons didn't get too much, injuries coming out of this game. So that's all I have to say. Still give credit where credit's due, because at the end of the day, they did not make it easy for us to win, at all. They were fighting hard. They got like 5 field goals, and those field goals could have been touchdowns if everything went their way. It could have been 35-24 or whatever crazy palaver thing, but good thing it didn't happen, but it could have. Just kind of think about that in the back of our heads before we start, gloating and all that crazy palaver. But it's something to kind of recognize that, yeah, they're a good team. Like, regardless of a 5-6 record, they're not a bad team. It's just sometimes they've been catching slipping. But it is what it is. The Honey Badger just proved it, that sometimes you get really lucky at the right times, and sometimes you get really lucky and you don't capitalize those games. So, on that note, if you guys lasted this long to the very end of the video, thank you so much for taking your own personal time and day to watch these Falcon content videos. Here's more on the screen for you guys if you're interested. So what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.